Hi, hello, my doodle dudes, and happy Easter. By the time I'm recording it, it's Easter. The time I'm recording it, because it's like kind of late, and that's what I do for these videos most of the time. But yeah, anyways, today we are going to be talking about toxic guys and why we should overall stop romanticizing them and making them seem like it's a good thing, like the whole like bad boy, like sitting in the corner listening to Coldplay or something like that. Like that seriously needs to stop. And not the portrayal is in all bad boys, like all bad boy tropes are a bad thing or not good. It's just that the toxic portrayals of them that are utilized a lot in YA novels, especially targeted towards teens, is no bueno, and that needs to stop. So yeah, I kind of didn't really think about these sort of like bad boy tropes. I always thought that they were a joke because all the content targeted towards me was making fun of these people, and I literally never thought of anything. I thought that the whole like white girl fangirl craze of like romanticizing toxic stuff was just gone by the time Twilight ended. It had all died down, and now all those people had like evolved almost like a different subspecies. Like they turned into K-pop stans and like those people who listen to Harry Styles a lot, and that was that. I just thought it just ended there, and then I found out one of my friends liked a character named Hardin from the movie franchise book series called After, which is basically where this chick, Tessa, comes to college, has her boyfriend who's like a year younger than her, so she's back home, and then he meets this guy named Hardin, and he's so British, and like snarky, and like, ooh, bad boy, and so basically she ends up cheating on like her boyfriend, who's like just there. In the books he's kind of more mean than he is in the movie, but like, you're still just cheating on him casually. Then at the end, she finds out that the only reason Hardin was with her for a bet, but like, it's like, oh Tessa, I still love you. It was just, the bet was just, it was different. I love you now. I love you, Tessa. And like, there's like 4 books. I think it's like, this is what happens when Wattpad gets a publishing company. Cause yeah, the whole story came from Wattpad. Like so many great stories have, fan fiction. So yeah, I always heard this show getting made fun of, and like, I didn't think anybody liked After. I don't know how it got a second. I literally thought it got a sequel for hate. I didn't think anybody liked it, and I thought if you did like it, you'd be crazy. Then I found out that one of my friends actually genuinely likes the story and like thinks it's compelling, and not in like a haha that's so dumb way. Like, no, she actually liked the relationship. Let's just say we argued a lot during lunchtime about whether or not Hardin was garbage and Tessa was not a good person and just totally being taken advantage of by this creepy Hardin guy. And so I thought that like, okay, eventually she'll come around, she'll like look back and just think this is stupid. And then I find out another one of my friends watched it and starts liking Hardin, and I'm like, okay, dear Lord, it's spreading. The white fangirls are coming back, and and my friends, man. And it's like, I'm not gonna stop talking to somebody because we have a difference in opinion. Like, I'm pretty sure I disagree with like my friends on a lot of different stuff, politically, like emotionally, whatever, all that mumbo jumbo, but like, still, you can disagree with me on like anything else but this, man. This needs to stop. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to explain the reason why I think, we shouldn't be doing this whole thing with like the bad boy. Every single time I say bad boy, I'm gonna do this voice like, bro, that's freaking crazy. I'm like gonna paint your aura, and like our souls are intertwined. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking about that, mainly focusing on like, Twilight's, Edward, and Hardin, who's like basically like the less vampire-y version of him, I guess. I mean, yeah, like more British, less vampire. They're both not great people. We shouldn't be romanticizing them. So anyways, problem number 1 that I have with toxic guys is that it gives excuses for toxic behaviors. Like, you know how like when you see somebody who's not in a good relationship and they have like all these excuses of like, oh my gosh, they're doing through really like a lot. They're going through a lot of trauma, and like a lot of bad stuff happened to them. These After books and like Twilight books, they're like the main excuse for them. Like, every single time like they do something bad, they're like, well Tessa, like, I had a really rough childhood. And it's like, bro, things that happened in the past like bad things that happens are not an excuse for you being a bum in the like present. And if you know you're a bad person, get therapy. He's really over here just leeching off this chick, and it's like, dude, you seem like you're going through a lot. I'm not gonna lie, his character is like, he's got trauma, and then he just sits there just, you know, insulting Tessa, making her cry, and then he's over here just like, you going like willy-nilly. And just like, Tessa, I love you, but you suck, and I hate you, and I don't want you near me, like, buzz off, mate, you know, being quite stupid in it. So, like, yeah, it's just giving a lot of people, like, excuses, and, like, I've heard this so many times when I talk to my friends about it, like, there was this part where he literally punched this guy in the face because Tessa kissed him without the guy's consent. He punched the guy in the face and, like, tried to fight him, and my friend used the term, he was just being protective. What? Like, okay, I guess we've entered into that sort of crazy white girl territory where you excuse everything this guy does, and it's like, it's so crazy how they would, nothing was ever Hardin's fault, and when it was like, it's fine because he has trauma, he had a rough childhood. It's like, this man could, like, kill a fool. No, he could like be revealed to be Jeffrey Dahmer, and my friends would still be like, he's changed. Oh my gosh. And it's like, they put the blame on the Tessa character too, which I'm not gonna lie, she's not a good character either. She was cheating on her, like, dude the whole book, and then, like, got back together with him, and then proceeded to cheat on him. Like, bro, like, what was that? But, like, they were just like, well, like, it doesn't matter if Hardin's bad, like, Tessa's bad too. And it's like, man, y'all just, like, y'all really out here being enablers, bro. That ain't it. That's toxic. And the relationship and you justifying it. So yeah, that's a big no-no in the whole, like, bad boy tropes that I don't really, you know, like. It's not good, especially when it's being pushed on the young teen girl audience. Like, ma'am, this shouldn't be shown to kids. If it is going to be shown to anybody, make it shown for adults, you know, who already know this is stupid. If they don't know it's stupid, like, just no, period. Okay, reason number 2, it twists and conflates the idea of love with a bunch of other toxic things, like just being plain abusive and, like, obsessive. Like, you know that scene in Twilight? I don't understand why people, like, didn't really talk about this that much, where he's just, like, vibing outside her window watching her sleep, and it's just like, what? Kay? Nani? Like, what you doing, bruv? And it's like, those sort of, like, words like, I've been watching you, Bella, and I can't turn away. And it's like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's so romantic. Oh my gosh, he's been watching her. He doesn't take his eyes off her. Imagine if he was a raggedy old 60-year-old man. Popping up and be like, oh, Tessa, I've been watching you. I can't keep my eyes off you. Boy, you'll be like, oh my gosh, he's so creepy. Edward, where are you? You need to take care of Bella. Like, what's the double standard here, man? Like, it's so disturbing at how, like, these sort of, like, massive creepy things of, like, looking up their information and, like, stalking them and it's like, in our culture, we think, like, looking at our ex's, like, Instagram feed is kind of weird sometimes. They're really out here, like, stalking their exes, looking up their, like, financial search history or something like that, pulling an FBI agent. Unless it's a romance story, a rom-com about an FBI agent who falls in love with the person they are following, I do not want to see that stalker-ish anywhere, bruv. Nowhere. That needs to stop. It's not good. Because as I said, young, teenage, girl, audience, developing a proper idea of what a relationship is. That's not good if you're just like, hey, you want to know something that's super, super attractive for a guy to do? Break in their house. Baby, if your man does not refuse to leave your room as you wish kindly for him to leave, and he shouts at you, that's true love right there. Like, no, that's not it. That's, bro, that ain't it, chief. So, yeah, that needs to just all stop, period. okay? Not to mention the other thing, it's like you can fix somebody in a relationship. Ooh, I can't even. The amount of times where they're like, he's a little rough around the edges, but I can fix him. I'm helping him. I'm healing him. And I'm not saying that like relationships don't encourage people to be better. A lot of relationships I've been a part of, they've encouraged me to become a better person and like less not good. Like, go from muy mal to muy bueno, if you know what I'm saying. Power of friendship. Friendship is magic. I watched 6 seasons of My Little Pony, so I know that stuff is good, get in those healthy, good relationships and encourage yourself to be better. But like when it comes to the concept of like trauma and mental illness, and they're just like, I had depression and BPD and anxiety and like I had cancer, but then I got kissed by a guy and I'm all better. Yeah, I'm a billionaire now, period. Like, that's not how it works, and that really should not be encouraged on, as I said, for like the 100th time, a young teenage girl audience. Like, who the frick's making kids read it? Like, who's letting them read this? You see Twilight in like middle school books, all romantic, pretty, in the romance section. Pop that ish in the horror section, okay? Change the cover, change a little bit of the way that Bella describes him, easily. You don't even gotta change the plot, okay? Girl hypnotized against her will to fall in love with a vampire, all creepy and stuff, and then like throws her life away at 18 to become a vampire, and like, it's weird, man. And especially with the whole after thing, because as I said, he has a lot of trauma and he is a jerk, supposedly because of that trauma, I guess. And like, he's ruined multiple girls' lives before Tessa, but like, whatever. And she's just like, I think I'm getting to him. And then when the moms come in and reinforce it, like, wow, or like the ex, it's like, I've never seen him smile like that. How are you doing that? Like, no, okay, man, like, if your dad like dies in front of you, I don't think your crush, like giving you a peck on the cheeks, gonna really make that pain go away all that much. It might help having a support system, but still, I'd advise therapy instead, okay? Like, so yeah, Next, part number 3. It reinforces the hot people double standard and that pretty privilege and junk like that. So, as I was saying before, imagine the plots of these romance stories. Like, say that you're still, like, just like, oh my gosh, Hardin. Like, oh my gosh, like, Edward. It's like, would you still think that these stories are acceptable if these were, like, raggedy old men? I'll wait for you. Just drop it down in the comments. Just give me your explanation there, or something like that. Or just don't. Like, just think about it. Because if your answer is anything but no, I advise for you to, like, reflect on yourself, man. Get some help. Because I don't think that if Edward, like, beautiful, I was about to say Robert Downey Jr., but I know that's not the guy's name, the actor, like, if he was replaced with, like, Jim Carrey or like Joaquin Phoenix, I don't think y'all would be all like, ooh, when he's standing next to Bella, breathing down her neck, being like, do you know what I am? Say it. Do you know what I'm a freaking vampire, bro. I'm a vampire, dude. Like, no, you wouldn't be into that. That wouldn't be cool. That wouldn't be hot. Because it's an old man. The only reason that you're accepting of these traits, and I feel like that's the main reason that people tolerate all the BS from this stuff, because a lot of the stuff I hear from Hardin's like, oh my gosh, his eyes are so dreamy, his hair, it's like a hot chocolate, and I just want to, like, just sweep it all up, and it's like, his accent's so good, because you don't love anything more than a British accent that doesn't sound like a real British accent, even though the actor's British. Like, Tessa, like, were you kissing that guy with Smoochie Molly? Like, ugh, it's just, I feel like it's just causing more excuses and putting the idea that just because these people are attractive and the main character thinks they're attractive, like, ugh, the way that they describe some scenes, it's like he's punching somebody, it's like, as he repeatedly moved his biceps, bulged as he recorded and then punched the impact on this guy's face. Blood started splashing everywhere. It landed on his supple, glistening cheek. Sweat streamed down his face, reflecting his steel-cut jawline. And it's dude, stop describing this man if he's a new Porsche model. He's beating somebody up. Say it right clearly. They can literally, man could be ripping somebody's throat out. They can make it described as though it is the most gorgeous thing in the universe. And I condemn and also applaud those authors for doing that, because my goodness, it is hilarious to read. Because man could be taking a dump. He could be just so bloated and constipated and disgusting, and they'd still be snot glistened down his nose. He let out a soft, grisly achoo. He growled. And it's just, it's crazy. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video and the drawing that I had. I'm really proud of this drawing, actually. The whole shadow, tried to give it a whole toxic vibe, and the hearts kind of looming over. It gives me the idea from Hercules, how Hades, he was pulled down by all those souls. So it kind of had the idea of creating these are the souls of the chicks he messed up. He messed up their brains. So yeah, this video is kind of longer than the usual ones. I tried to go a bit more in depth because I didn't want to be really rambly with this, because it's a pretty serious topic. And if you are in a toxic relationship and any of the traits that you see in this video resemble your relationship with somebody, I advise to get the heck out. Sweetie darling, I'm gonna go with my southern voice because a lot of people find it more soothing. I may have never been in a relationship, but you should probably, I may not be a chef, but I know when that steak ain't cooked. I know when it ain't good, sis. So if you see any of my boyfriend is kind of abusive and doesn't treat me right and insults me, but then blames it on his anxiety, that's not right, sis. Point him in the way of therapy, then be boy, bye. I'm gonna go talk to the all-American boy next door. So yeah. Whenever the first male lead sucks, just go to the second one. He's usually nicer. Unless you pull a Twilight and make him a creep and a jerk and kind of a groomer by the end of the last book. So yeah, toodles my doodles. I will see you in the next video.